Chris, Michael, how are you?
Yeah, we started recording. Yeah.
Hi, Gordon. How are you, mate?
Thanks for joining. Yeah, so a fair bit to get through. So tonight, you're all welcome if you want to jump in. We've got the chapter sync with Stacks. So that's at 10 o'clock tonight. So it's a bit late. Basically, that's meeting with Austin in Texas, the Indonesian team, and the Japanese team. The Japanese team didn't join last time, but it was quite good. So if you guys are interested, I can shoot through an invite. It was good just seeing like their perspective on stuff, because they're like building out education communities as well, like focused on education. So, and using Stacks for that. So I think there was a bit of sort of bleed over into what we're doing. So it was good about them to sort of link us up. And I think that's fortnightly from the looks of it. So if you want to jump into that, I reckon that'll be really good. And I shot a video, just an update of where we're at. And I went overtime. So that video that I posted, they're like, yeah, no, it's too long. So I had to shoot it again. So I just did that quickly just before and sent it off to Adam. So a condensed version of all the stuff that we've been up to. So yeah, got the new space for Digital Playhouse Victoria, which is awesome. So I was in there on Friday, and very, very cool. So they've got all sorts of great tech in there. And yeah, it's a great learning space. So I'm quite excited to kick things off in there and start. Actually, like the really cool thing was like they had I think it was on the Wednesday night, maybe, or whatever night it was. There was a what do they call it? Social Enterprises Victoria. So social enterprises, which I didn't really understand what a social enterprise was until going to this. So I was like, oh, that's what we've been building this whole time without the name for it, sort of thing. So basically it's between a charity and a for-profit organization. So it's like a organization that's focused on sort of helping people. And that's precisely what we're doing. So like allocating, funds to supporting communities and that sort of thing. I'm like, well, yeah, I think like I think the definition, it has to be 50% of your total going towards sort of helping people. And I'm like, oh, well, I think we're doing 100%. So what does that make us? I think, but really cool seeing the different sort of communities and startups and businesses and organizations in the space. None really focused on cryptocurrencies or anything, but so it was very different for them, sort of hearing what we've been working on. And I think it resonated. So be keen to get those guys into the Bitcoin Australia meetups. So for the next one, Gordon, did you guys want to run it from your space?
Yeah, that'd be fine. I just need to get it was probably the bit about the Zoom links, because whoever's hosting needs to set up the Zoom. So it's still whatever the link is, it needs to be consistent.
Yeah. I think we need to get that Satoshi account sorted with a Zoom account and then link that.
Yeah, sure. So we'll get that sorted. But yeah, we can do that. And we'll have to do a bit of a pre-test run beforehand, make sure everyone can get on.
I was going to suggest that. Yeah, let's do that. And we'll, because I do want to kick off in the new space, but it might be cooler to sort of do it, like get everyone there, but be running it from your end, so we can kind of see how it's done, and then do another one from here. That'll be great. All right, so we'll do that. If we can get the the account sorted out, and I'll run you through how to do the streams. I can sort of take care of the VR space and the that sort of connection. So that'll be awesome. All right, so we'll work on that. What was the other thing?
On the meetups as well. On the meetups as well, Chris, Michael here is from Central Coast, north of Sydney, and he was keen to help with the Sydney meetup.
Sure.
So Sydney, we've got a Bitcoin Australia Sydney meetup page, which we can add you guys as admins.
Okay, that sounds good. Yeah. Send me an invite to that. I mean, neither of us are technically in Sydney, Central Coast, and I'm in the Blue Mountains, so it makes things a little bit challenging. But yeah, we should
Sure.
definitely try work something
for the
out.
minute until there's a virtual.
Yeah.
We've only got a three a Meetup account with 3 accounts. So to go into a multi-account system, it becomes quite expensive. So that's all we've got at the moment. So make the use of it. Sort of bring the greater Sydney community in, I guess.
Yeah.
Because most of it's virtual for the minute.
Yeah, that's right. I think that's a really good idea.
And Karen's made me admins to one of the biggest Bitcoin meetups or blockchain. I can't remember blockchain or Bitcoin meetups in Melbourne as well. So we're allowed to, we can post our events on there.
Oh, fantastic. Well, maybe we should do like book a session to go through all that, make sure the links are right. So we need to get our Zoom link right and consistent across everything, and then sort of advertise it. How long have we got? When's the next one?
Another 2 weeks.
Oh, 2 weeks. Yeah. Okay. All right, we'll do it. Maybe later this. Well, the rest of my week's pretty full. Start of next week, maybe. We'll do a session, get everything sorted out. I reckon that's probably the way to go. Maybe get Electra in as well and see if we can get the
Sure.
Zoom account and all that sort of stuff sorted. Yeah, so that was good. Oh, yeah, I was talking to Chris the other night about podcasting 2.0. So the big thing is so cool. So I've put like all these meetups on the Lightning Network, and I've put so I've got that Bitcoin Aggregated, which is a podcast that me and Chris do, and the Alpha podcast. But the really interesting thing was the Bitcoin Australia meetup. I just like grabbed the audio from that and dumped it in as well. And that seems to have got the most hits from people like on the Lightning Network specifically. So like, you throw stuff up on like YouTube or, all these other centralized platforms, and it's like you get a thumbs up, or, I think we got like 300 subscribers or something on YouTube, which is pretty good. Like that's awesome. But when you're on the Lightning Network, literally people stream sats to you as they're listening to it. And it was a big sort of process getting that going. So like with the podcast, like I started in like 2020. I tried getting that up and running. Like I got it on the Lightning Network, but the sats just never started to stream. And I was like, and then I kind of gave up. I'm like, oh yeah, I've got like other stuff on, and forgot about it, came back to it, still wasn't working. I'm like, oh, what's going on? So like I had my node set up, and it's like you can send to it and everything, but it just didn't work. Anyway, there's this app called Albi, which is a Lightning. It connects your node to the Lightning network, so it creates like a LURL, and people can start streaming. So the Bitcoin meetup seemed to be the one that people were really interested in, and there's other ones as well. Like people have listened to these, and you can see like as they're listening, the sats coming through. It's like something so cool about it, even though it's like a fraction of a cent. For some reason, it's like it's just kind of magic. Like it's better than a thumbs up or whatever you get on Facebook or YouTube. Like it's something really cool. So I was thinking,
of course it is. It's Bitcoin.
Of course, yeah. It's magic internet money.
Is that on Fountain FM?
Yes, Fountain FM, and there's a host of other ones.
There's a bunch.
Sphinx, like there's heaps. It's so cool. But I was thinking of like creating some curriculum around that specifically, so learners could, because there's no real process for it, right? It was just me sort of stumbling around in the dark and pinging this person, that person, seeing like how it all comes together. So I was thinking, like we were talking about the other night, Chris, like with a mining curriculum, kind of a step by step. You do this, this is how you build your node, this is how you connect it. I was thinking doing something like that, but for podcasting specifically, and I think it'd be really good to do, because I know there's a lot of people who have ideas for podcasts that they want to do and that sort of thing, but there's no like there's the instant sort of gratification of someone like paying you sats in real time. So I think it'd be really worthwhile for young people, especially getting on board with that. So that's something I want to try and pursue in this new learning space, so the Digital Playhouse Victoria. I'm quite excited about that. So I'm thinking I'll write something up and then share it with you guys, and then just add in your comments and stuff and see what you think. But that's something I want to do as well, Karin, for the Wooranna Way project. So have that as part of that. So I think having your input on that would be really useful. You're on mute, by the way, Karin. Yeah, I think having your input on that would be really useful, and building that out. So we've got the GitHub set up for it. I've got a Git book set up for it. So it's just kind of filling out the content. And I think having a monthly meetup and recording that and putting it on the Lightning Network and, on GitHub and stuff as well would be really important.
Look, I'm happy to help any way I can. And I've got a lot of notes and writing and things from all the times I spent at Wooranna Park. And
Awesome.
Any way I can help, because I think that's really when we're looking at the future.
Yeah.
That's a starting base, because it's already halfway there.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought, because Bob Perlman, so he's the educator over in America, super nice guy. He was like adamant that he wanted to document everything from the school, like sort of start to finish, like he had done with the Saturn School. So I think, him sort of giving the push for that was really good. And I thought, oh, well, what better person to have involved with that than you? Like, you've got so much documentation already, so it'll be really good to keep that and preserve it, like in a way that's has longevity, but is palatable, like easy to read for people as well. So if we can work on that together,
Sure, happy to.
definitely good. But also doing the meetup aspect as well, I think, and focusing on the positive stuff from the school, maybe not so much.
Yeah, but isn't that the best way to go forward?
Yeah.
I mean, I made up a saying when I was going through nightmares. You can't change the past, but you can create or co-create the future.
Yes, that's right. That's amazing. Yes, I love that. That's a
It was
gem.
helpful to me when nightmares on nightmares.
I love that. That's really cool. I was going to say, has anyone heard from Jacques? Nah, nothing on the Discord or anything. I was hoping he could jump in. Oh, here's Joe. Yeah, I was keen to see how he was going with the authentication and all the stuff he was working on, but hopefully next week I might ping him and see if he's still available. Oh, hey Joe, looks like someone's been using your computer again.
Hi there, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can't see
Yeah,
you.
sorry. Yeah, sorry, I had a work phone call. I was here at 8:30 and then I realized, no, it's 9:30 and then I got a work phone call. Sorry.
That's all right. Does it actually like ping you at 8:30 to join?
Yeah, I had an 8:30. For some reason it came up on my calendar. Yeah, I don't know why.
It's really strange.
Sorry
Google
about
doing
that.
some weird
Yeah.
stuff. Not your fault.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Oh, that's actually perfect timing. Was there any updates with the grant application that you know of?
Not that I know of, but then I think it's your email that they've got as
That's right.
point
It is too.
contact. Yeah, Electra and I were quite chuffed that we got it in, but we'll see.
There's a dog here. Hey, dog. Can you take him out? He wants to come in. Yeah, I know, but cool. Yeah, all right. So we'll just wait and see what comes back with that. The other thing with that was the adopting BTC. The other page that we had set up for that. Has there been any updates with that, Gordon? Do you know? Oh, you're muted. You're on mute. Still on mute. Oh, adopting BTC was the page, Chris, that we've set up. So there's like a donation page for me and Electra to get to, and Gordon to get to El Salvador. So we've set that up, and hopefully we can sort of pay for that through Digital Playhouse to get there. But yeah, I think we'll probably need to do some more publicity for that one beforehand. Sort of thing. Oh, Gordon's dropped off. That's all right. So Wooranna Way updates, marketplace. Oh, that was the other thing. So I've got Element. So Element's chat software. So like, Discord, you'll be interested in this, Michael. Discord's, which is pretty good. Like we've kind of been using that, and it's a relatively good platform. But there's a alternative called Element, and it's run on something called Matrix, and basically like through their network, it's like a decentralized chat application that's really good. You can actually run it on your node, Chris, as well. So you can do an instance of that from Umbral or from Citadel, and you can chat straight through that. It's really cool. But they've got basically communities that you can set up, and they can like host it for you. But they only do it for free for like not-for-profits or organizations like School of Bitcoin, hopefully, or Digital Playhouse. So I've got a meeting with them tonight, so at 5 o'clock. Actually, Gordon, if you want to jump into that, you're more than welcome.
Is that on Citadel?
No, so that's Element. So the
Okay.
Element group. So we've got that. I forget the guy's name. I've got the. I'll
Shoot it over. I should be able to do.
It'd be really interesting. So we'll see if we can get that up and running. And I think in terms of longevity, and not being beholden to a central authority on communication like Discord, I think it's definitely worth pursuing. And the fact that we can kind of basically, you have like them hosting it, but we can run instances of it on our nodes. So between us, we could all be running like a copy of everything that we're sort of doing, so it doesn't it can't get deleted basically. So yeah, it'd be cool to get some clarification on that and see if we qualify for that. So that's a 5 o'clock tonight.
Just back to the El Salvador trip.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had trouble with the connectivity. Electra's been away for a couple of weeks, so I think we're just sort of getting back together now. So how to do some promotion and
cool.
Yeah, around that. So I think this week we'll be catching up on a lot of things. Awesome.
Yeah, well, we'll have to have a meeting around that as well, I think.
Guys, have you tickets?
Flights? No, we've got tickets to the
event. Yeah.
So that should be. Have you booked your flights yet, Chris?
Not yet, but I will be doing that soon. But I'm going to LA for the Pacific Bitcoin conference, which is the week before as well.
Yeah. That'll be.
It looks like every country's opening up now, so I don't think there's going to be a restriction on travel.
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Your luggage gets there with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I might take carry-on. I did that when I went to Sweden recently. I just took carry-on because I knew what the airports were like, and meant I didn't have to wait in any of the check-in lines, which were absurdly long.
I tend to do that wherever I go, just carry on. Like, it's just so much easier. The worst thing is when you travel with somebody and you've just got carry on and they've got a big bag that you have to I've had that a few times. I was like, okay. We could leave now, but no, not all that. It was funny actually coming back, where was it? Coming back from Bali last time, like I had nothing and it was like 8 of us. I just my backpack, like waiting for everybody else. And I was the one that got, asked to come in as you walk in. I'm like, what? I've got nothing on me, like just a little bag. So anyway, I was standing there and it was just me and this like Chinese family in front, and they opened up their bag and it was full of like food and just nonsense. Like everything that you're not meant to bring. And they were they didn't know what was going on, like they couldn't speak English. And they're like, the girl looks at me and goes, this is going to be a while. Just go through it.
Oh, no.
Crazy.
When is El Salvador?
What's that?
When is El Salvador?
That's in November.
November, right.
Yeah, so it should be pretty cool. Really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be definitely eye-opening. Like you were saying, Chris, the other night, like it's to see a whole community like running on the Lightning Network and running on BTC, like it must be.
You guys will lose your mind when you see Bitcoin Beach. It's so cool.
Yeah, it's did you get to see any of the schools or anything when you were there?
No, I didn't go to any of the schools, but went down to Bitcoin Beach. But yeah, I'm hoping to spend more time there this time around, and maybe we can venture out to some of the other stuff that's happening too. Like I noticed without sidetracking today's meeting, but Jimmy Song just went over there and started doing some Bitcoin development courses for some of the kids in some of the schools. teaching the coders there
Awesome.
about coding on Bitcoin and all that sort of stuff. So I thought that was pretty cool.
That's amazing. Yeah, no, I'm definitely keen to hit that up. I think the Bitcoin Beach in the schools that they were sort of running down there, just reading about them sounds amazing. So yeah, anything we can sort of do, anything we can do to help out them and also bring ideas back. I think that's the two big goals of the trip. So I'm excited. It should be really good. What was else on the list here? Marketplace discussion. I thought that might be something good we could do. And Digital Playhouse updates. So maybe, have you got any Digital Playhouse updates, Gordon? And did you want to organize a time for web development for the website as well?
Yeah, so with Electra just coming back now, we've got a fair bit of work to do to get all our systems running for donations. And we've got a fair bit of work to do on that side. So we're just, I think we're just finalizing some administrative stuff so we can get that smooth machine running, but definitely need to get our website organized. So got a pretty big couple of weeks.
Well, whenever we can find some time, I suppose, to generate. I think it's definitely worth doing, like having the .org site up and running and sort of migrating across to that without losing your SEO as well. I think is important. Good question there. Next provocation, eh?
So we'll get some timelines going on that with Electra and you this week.
Yeah.
And then we can start to work different projects, put up some targets, like we've got the El Salvador trip. If you want to raise capital to invest in some Bitcoin miners, different programs you want to run at in Victoria. Once we want to run in Agnes Water here.
Yep.
I think this. I've got a lady in town here who's she's a financial planner but done a lot of work with charities. So I would like to invite her. We've already had one meeting with her. I'd like to invite her to come in and help us work on that side of things, because she knows how to deal with clients and customers like that have money to invest in charitable projects.
Cool.
And so get a lot of learning from her in that regard.
It was interesting actually. I was at a christening the other day, and my friend's uncle was like, I told him about School of Bitcoin, what we're building. He's like, oh yeah, I wanted to buy that, but I didn't know how. I'm like, oh wow. Like it was so, like, I was like, if I go on the School of Bitcoin website, does it teach me how to buy Bitcoin? I'm like, no, probably not. That's like step one. I was kind of shocked because you kind of forget that there's people still at that spot. Oh, here's Electra.
It's a pretty good point.
Yeah,
that's the first thing. Is there anyone that we actually want to align with to be able to just jump on by? Like,
yeah.
Is there? I mean, Chris has talked about Amber, the Amber app. We've got Wallet Satoshi. I don't know how to. I've got an Amber app, but I haven't actually used it. Is that a custodial solution, or is it just direct? Does it directly deposit to your BTC address, Chris?
It can be either. By default, it's custodial, but you can request withdrawals to your own wallet at any time as well. I think it's a really great app for simplicity. It's a very easy way to set and forget. It's an easy way to use a solid strategy in dollar cost averaging. I know that they don't have any online component to the storage of their Bitcoin on behalf of their users. It's all done through hardware wallets and via Unchained Capital, I think it is. So there's no risk of their hot wallets being hacked like a traditional centralized exchange with an open order book, where they have to have some level of liquidity sitting in the online environment. So the only way that they could get hacked is if they do something wrong themselves, or somehow Unchained Capital gets hacked, which seems unlikely. But yeah, like for people that want to take custody themselves, they're welcome to do that. I like it because it's very simplistic. You can sign up very easily from your smartphone. You can set up your dollar cost averaging strategy, and then you can just forget about it. You don't need to worry about maintenance or stressing about what's going to happen next, or should I buy now? Should I buy tomorrow? Should I wait a week? And also, there are no other altcoins to tempt you into getting yourself into any trouble with leveraging or scams or anything like that, where, you go to Binance and there's 710,000 coins. I don't know how many are on there, but, and they all vary in quality quite drastically. So
Wrapped Bitcoin.
Yeah. So is that like, I mean, I noticed a lot of the education platforms of various kinds, they've got an association with either Swan or some group that enables people to get on board. So, it's maybe something I think we should look at. And is there
I think so.
Well, I mean, there's obviously just some warning about the about, or like what you're actually doing. And
Yeah. I think
but enabling people to get on board and then get a Lightning wallet and start to actually use it in some way.
yeah, unfortunately, Amber don't have Lightning support, but I believe they are working on it, which is cool. But the other good thing is they're Aussie based too. So like, we don't have to push them to some random Seychelles company that isn't even in the same jurisdiction. So it's nice to have some level of certainty that, if something does go wrong, at least there's someone you can go knocking to. We're seeing now with all Lunar and 3AC and all this sort of stuff where they're domiciled in some random British Virgin Island and no one has any idea what's going on. So I feel more comfortable promoting something that's at least Australian based.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I find that in helping people get started, that custodial solutions in that event of like Wallet of Satoshi or Amber or something like that can be a very good way to get started. But then it's part of their education journey. Okay, now that you've got started and you've got something to play around with, now let's learn about why Bitcoin exists and why you want to have self custody.
You got to take them through the journey.
Yeah,
I think
so
Karin wanted to say something.
Yeah.
That could be a good step.
I really appreciate Chris and Gordon, what you've been saying about it, because the thought of buying Bitcoin can be, oh wow, I can buy it. I can find out how I can buy it, but it's just open to so much danger. I think the security challenges with it, and the fact that you both know so, and I'm sure Karin does so, and all of you know a lot more about those things. But it's so important that anything that, if we're talking about financial literacy for kids, the very first thing could be, oh, I'm going to buy it. I know how to buy it now, or what like that. And it's important to know how to buy it, but hey, when and how, and what will they be buying with, and how will they be buying, and what will it open them to, and the challenge and security. And I sort of link back to what I was saying at the last meeting about that exhibition I went to in Adelaide, where everything you do, say whatever, you don't have any privacy on your phone, on anything. And if kids start going into, young people or ignorant people who just don't know about it, start buying, there are so many dangers. And it's the thought of a quick fix, like buying a tax ticket for the 50 million or whatever, that, hey, I'll buy one and I'll be set for life. It's, oh, that's another tax name. It's just that it's important to share information about it, but the way we do it, when and how we do it, and to whom is getting this information, we have to be just so careful. I'm not trying to panic or anything. I'm just trying to think, we really want children to have the most wonderful financial literacy, but it's like a journey. It's like a treasure hunt. They're going to learn things along the way, but are there going to be cliffs that they could fall over the edge too? I mean, it's just
definitely. Yeah, I think it was a really good point you made, Chris, as well. Like you go to Binance or any of these exchanges, like you'll see things that are called Bitcoin that aren't Bitcoin as well. So like someone could, like, you just sign up to whatever, you see Bitcoin Cash or Bitcoin SV, and you're like, oh, that's cheaper, I'll just go and buy that. And you don't actually have Bitcoin. So we can't take that for granted. So I think, finding a partner that's sort of BTC only specifically for that, particularly with the conversation I was having with my friend's uncle, it's just like, oh yeah, gosh, like you can't take it for granted that people know how to go and buy BTC, but that's the most simple thing. It's like, oh, if I jump on there, will you learn? Yeah, all right. We should probably build that out. So I reckon that's something we do. I think, and yeah, finding a partner for that would be great. I think I love the Amber app, or yeah, Walter Satoshi, any of those guys. If we can partner with them, and maybe even if they can do like a fund or something that we can do like the provocations with, or something like that, would be really cool. Speaking of which,
and before we have spoken to Daniel at Wallet Satoshi about supporting the project at the Digital Playhouse, and he was totally open to that. So, and yeah, we could have a chat to Alex at Amber. Chris knows him well. They got it.
I actually think he's somewhat stepped away from Amber.
Okay.
They got in a bit of, well, they got targeted, and I think if anyone knows Alex, he's a bit of an outlaw. Not in a bad sense, but he certainly speaks his mind, and I think that ruffles feathers. And I think Amber essentially got deregulated or debanked, or delicensed, I should say, by not ASIC. Yeah, it was ASIC, I think. ASIC, or what are the other bodies that kind of hand out these cryptocurrency exchange licenses here in Australia? And they were offline in Australia for like 4 or 5 months while they were trying to contest that unfair deregulation that they got. Anyways, they're back online now. They've been back online for about a month or so. Turns out that they did it incorrectly, which is what Amber kind of knew. But I think they just went after Alex. So he's sort of stepped away from the public limelight. He may still be a shareholder in the background, but I think from a public perspective, he's very much distanced himself from it. I think that was probably what their legal advice told them to do. But yeah, I mean, I know Alex, and I know a few of the other guys that I've spoken to at Amber. I could probably get an intro to the right person to have that discussion if we want to try do something with them.
that'd be awesome. Yeah, definitely. I think, yeah, having something around like what you just posted before, Gordon, the provocations for the students I know you got the homeschoolers in today. I think that's a great idea. We still don't know who won the last sets. Like they just never got back to us. So whatever, we can roll that on to the next one, I suppose. Like,
shoot me the email address. I'll see if it matches to anyone at our homeschoolers.
I'll do that now. Yeah, I'll do it when we finish. Yeah. We should.
If anyone wants to, I've got the homeschoolers in at 11 o'clock 1 o'clock till 2:30. If Karin or Jill wanted to jump in and say hi with anything,
Sure. Yeah.
that'd be cool.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Good to have some guests jump in.
Maybe I can. Maybe I will.
Yeah, shoot us an invite. If I'm free, I'll jump in for sure. The last thing I wanted to discuss was the marketplace. So I know Jill, it was kind of your idea to set that up initially, and I know like we're still kind of waiting on if we get grant money for that. But in terms of the format and like, you know, sort of posting up those like the existing content, do you think sort of integrating those two ideas together? If you are there, Jill, I don't know if you're muted and we can't see you, but do you think?
Sorry, I've got the cleaners as well in the background, and they're pretty noisy, so I put the mute on as well. Yeah, I think it's one of those big ideas that I had that obviously I'm interested in for two reasons. I think one is because it enables us to generate a lot of content quickly in different languages across different communities, and it enables people to interact and to collaborate with their content, but also it enables us to generate some form of money, like commercialize what we're doing. So I think from that perspective, I think it works well in getting our message out wider to the community, gets the community involved, which is what we want. And it's not really so much us making a lot of money, but it enables our users to also feel that their work is valued. But how we do that, I'm not a coder. Yeah, Electra, did you have anything you wanted to add to that?
Not at the moment.
I guess it's kind of predicated on getting the grant application in, or getting grant money to sort of build something out for that. But in terms of the like the format, do you think having what I've kind of built up at the moment, but like having the concept of stuff that's already existing and us kind of rating that integrated with people creating stuff, or do you reckon it should be two separate projects?
I think integrating it is probably a better way to go. I wonder whether we should even put a dollar factor on what we've got up there. Not that anybody's necessarily has to pay it, but we can see a value on it, so that we've started a value factor on it, so that, resources, if their courses are valued at, say, $9.99 or $5.95, or, they don't have to be big prices to start with, but just putting maybe a price tag on the information, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do other people think and think of the idea?
I think, like, for me, and you probably missed the start of today's meeting. Like, I was talking about podcasting 2.0 and value for value. Right. So all these meetings and all the stuff we've been doing, I've finally got up on the Lightning Network.
Yep.
And you can see people streaming sats in real time as they're listening to it. It's something so cool about that. Cool. So I think if we did something similar with curriculum, I don't know how we do that, but if we could do something similar to that, I think that would be amazing. So even if it's just a few sats that you're getting for
correct
that you've created, I think it's really, rather than dollars as well. Like,
I agree.
Like people could, because they actually have through Spotify a system where you can set up your PayPal and you can get paid for your content. But to me, that's kind of boring, right? Like the way they've built out the value for value system on podcasting 2.0, so the podcasting index, it's literally like this streaming sats to you, and something so exciting about that. So if we could sort of replicate that in a way, maybe we just do it manually, like you said, for the interim, like we just put up, we have this is how many sats we suggest you sort of pay for it.
And you're probably right, sats is a much better way than fiat. I think you're right. I think we go with sats.
I mean, we could do both, but I don't know, it was just something really cool about it that it's hard to describe until you've kind of done it, you know what I mean? So as part of that, so I might even put up on the marketplace, I want to start writing up like a how-to sort of curriculum on start to finish, on how you get let's say you want to start a podcast and put it up on the Lightning Network. It was quite clunky and hard to do, and there's no real walkthrough for it, if you know what I mean. So it's kind of me pinging people to get it up and running. But when I did, I'm like, oh, this is amazing. So I think having that and then sort of running people through that would be valuable, I think. And mining as well. So that was another thing that myself and Chris were talking about the other night. I think having a start to finish on, how you sort of start and kind of go from there. So that's something. All right. So integrated. All right. We'll keep it going as is. And hopefully we can get some money to actually build out a proper marketplace, which would be really cool. Well, I think that was everything I wanted to sort of.
Just quickly, we need to get together, and I'm pretty flat out beginning of financial year, but I'm sort of back to have a look at things with you about the website, Digital Playhouse Foundation website, and we'll sit down and work out that site map and start.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, yeah. Sorry, we were talking about it before, Electra.
We kept missing each other.
But we'll find a date for that, and we wanted to find a date to set up the Satoshi account with Zoom, so we can, whatever else we need on there, but I think Zoom specifically, so we can all use that.
Yeah, we need to agree on the setting up a Zoom account for Digital Playhouse, which will be good, but it'll just cost money, because at the moment we've got access to my company's free one. But
that's right.
For free. But yes, they're just the two things we need to decide on, I think.
Yeah, and I think before the next Bitcoin Australia meetup, we wanted to sort of get the ball rolling with that. And the other thing I think you missed out on was the adopting BTC, so like promoting that and getting that organized so we can get over to El Salvador. I think that's pretty important. So yeah, whenever we can sort of find a time. I know I've got a fair bit this week coming up, but I can probably move stuff around so we can.
Yeah, Fridays are pretty good for me.
Next Friday be good, not this Friday.
Next Friday, I'll just have a quick look. Yeah, next Friday's good, I think.
Morning.
Yeah, we've got something called Bitcoin Chat on Microsoft Teams next Friday, Chris. I don't know what that is, but
That's probably with Mark.
oh, okay. It's just it would be Microsoft Teams. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. No worries. Was
But
there
with come back to Zoom, the Zoom and the likes, what's the alternatives? Why do we need a Zoom account? Like, is Google Meets free, or can't you record them, or
Well, you
what's
want to use Zoom for webinars.
and streaming? So the streaming from Zoom to YouTube and Twitch and whatever is like one button click. You don't have to.
Okay.
Run
So you
it.
got to have a Zoom account.
Yeah, I mean, it just integrates well with having webinars, and it's good to have our own sort of branded Zoom account.
I know it is.
They're in the right place, like you give them a branded link for a session.
Yeah.
Or we could look at something else if you didn't want to use it.
I think Zoom, like I've used everything. Zoom's definitely the best in terms of integration, ease of use, and everybody's kind of. I mean, Google Meet's good, but it doesn't have the same sort of features. And it's really interesting the way Zoom came about. Actually, it was a team from Cisco WebEx, which is awful software that the Department of Ed pays millions of dollars for. They like got frustrated and left and built Zoom. They're like, let's build something that works. I think they did a really good job.
I mean, I can go ahead and register and set that up. Just need to agree on it.
Yeah, cool. Okay. All right. Well, we can do that for sure. Yeah. Well, that was it for me. Michael, did you want to say anything about what you're working on? No. No worries. All right. Cool. All right. We might leave it there then, guys, unless anyone else said anything.
Karin?
Oh, the provocation. Actually, that'll be worth.
Yeah, look, I'll definitely think of some more provocations. Yep, yes. And I've got different ones floating in my mind, but I'll sort of see if I can hone in on something specific.
Oh, actually, yeah, that's what I wanted to mention as well. So I found something called Quill Forms that integrates with WordPress, and it's basically all the same functionality that you get from a type form, but like a fraction of the cost. So after a certain amount of hits with platform, like it just goes like crazy exponential pricing. Core Forms doesn't do that at all. So I'm going to play around with that, see if I can get it set up, and I can even potentially set up a page that you can edit, Karin, directly. So we can just put in the provocation, and we'll do a set amount. If we can get a partner from one of these companies to actually fund that'd be good, rather than me funding it. But for the time being, I'm happy to do it.
Something else that I'm working on that I won't talk about now. Look, it's nearly the end of time and everyone's rushing off on something. But some different things I'm working on. I've got some exciting opportunities too, so I'm very happy to share them.
Awesome. Well, that's good news, Electra. So you might be in Melbourne.
Yeah, look, there's something that I might be speaking at, so I'll be coming down.
Very cool. So is it blockchain related or?
Yeah.
Oh, very cool. Cool. Awesome. Oh, that'll be great. Well, yeah, definitely check out the new space. It'll be great.
I just come back from a big trip south, so yeah.
Did you free?
Sorry?
Did you
free? Yes. Good to be back, and catch up with Gordon later today, and
go through everything.
Get things back on the road.
Sounds good. Awesome. All right, well, we might leave it there again, guys, and I'll see whoever. I'll send a link out for tonight's. So there's Element, Meetup, and the Stacks at 10 o'clock. So whoever wants to jump into that, more than welcome. But no pressure.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Beautiful. All right. See you guys.
See you guys. Bye.
Hey, everyone. Have a good day.
Everyone.